All right, rambling with Ryan. Um, like my set, I got tired of moving the camera around. So for this software is pretty cool, and for I got a green screen for $12. Pretty cool. So here's my new set. It'll change. Okay, so rambling with Ryan. This is based on a conversation with. This is based on a conversation I had with somebody this weekend. I'll call him Ray. Remember that comedian in the '80s? Oh, you can call him a Ray, but don't call me Ray J. I diverge. Um, okay, so but it's not a. I'm going to refer to Ray, but Ray is very generic. But it's just that this whole thing is inspired by a conversation I had with a Ray. So, and it's going to center around the nutrition program that we're on, but it's not about the nutrition program. But that's how I'm going to use use it as the reference. Okay, so here we go. So Ray asks me how I manage to stay on our nutritional program for so long and how I manage to keep the weight off for so long. And I try to explain how it's not a diet, how it's a lifestyle, and you choose it, and I start to get into details. But he immediately starts to tell me all the reasons why he can't do it. And they're all legitimate. Like they're real issues that nobody, doesn't face. I get hungry and I get angry when I get hungry and, a million different things. And an absolute fear of what we call a cleanse day, which means not eating really. Literally, it's called intermittent fasting. So you're not eating. And we do that for 2 days. But he has this outright fear of it. All right, so here's what I start to recognize and realize is that and how I can now do some of the things that I do that seemed impossible, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. So first off, the most important thing I think that I had a benefit of is that I got sick, right? So the doctor says, dude, you've got a problem and you have got to change right now or this could cause cancer. This could kill you. Like basically, he's giving me leverage. If you don't change your lifestyle right now, you could die. That's leverage. So which way am I going to go? Am I going to keep doing what I was doing and likely die a painful death early, or am I going to make the change? Change is because it had to be massive. Obviously, I choose to make the changes. So I have leverage. Now, Ray has leverage, but he doesn't see it the same way I did. The doctor didn't say you can die. The doctor didn't say this can cause cancer, but he has so many reasons, but they're not strong enough to him to just make changes. So he doesn't feel compelled, or it's just not strong enough. All right. So he started asking me a few different things, particularly about the cleanse days and when you fast. And I said, yeah, of course, you get hungry or you want something. I said, but I just drink water and I'll drink more water. So if I feel a hunger or I feel that pang in my stomach, I get more water. And his response is, oh, water. I hate water. And I thought to myself, no way, man. Oh, and I realized that what had happened for me, have you ever heard the term neural linguistic programming or NLP? I know it sounds like some fancy schmancy newfangled words or phrase of how to do things. But when I think of water, I think about the people who don't have any. I think about people in Africa and India, so many parts of the world where a clean glass of water is impossible. That's like a dream, just clean water. So while certainly, many of us think like, oh, water's so boring. I don't like water. If you can visualize yourself as that person who is dying of thirst, somebody offers you water. Now, how good is that water? Right? So in one breath, I hate water. Well, maybe because it's just too damn abundant for you. All of us. Me, when I started to really intake water much more, the reason I get excited about water is because I think about how rare it is for other people. And so when I drink water, I take a sip, it is like Dom Perignon to me. It is the champagne of life. It is the elixir of life, right? Water. We cannot survive without it. So I have changed my perception of water. It's not like, oh, water. It's water. I get to have water. I'm trying to explain to Ray that you change the way you view it. That's what you've got to do. Now, I'll take that a step further, right? So we all know people who have road rage, people who just get so angry on the road. Now, I'm going to, use my wife as an example here. I too, like everybody on this planet, used to get so mad at bad drivers, the ones who'd cut you off, the ones who were too slow, the ones that were too fast, the ones that don't follow the rules. Like, you just get so angry at them. I started to change my perception of them, right? So I'm not gonna get angry anymore. I can't. I don't want to be angry, period. So what do? I decide that the reason that these people do that, the reason that they're bad drivers, that they cut me off, that they go too slow, they go too fast, they don't follow the rules, is because it's their job. It's what they do. They were born and put here to do exactly what they're doing. So why would I get angry at them? Why would I get angry? They have a job to do, and it is to cut people off and to go too fast or go too slow or not follow the rules. That's what they do. They're here. Accept it. So now, when I see it happen, I was like, hey, good job, man. You cut me off. Excellent. I expect him to. It's his job. It's what he does. Like, hey, guy's going way too slow. It's what they do. It's what he does, right? It's his job. So why I shouldn't be surprised. I shouldn't be angry. And I'm no longer angry when I drive. I may get frustrated, like, especially if I really got to get someplace. But hey, man, nothing to do about it. Leanne, on the other hand, still gets angry and still yells and still gets upset at them. And that started to bother me if I'm the passenger and she's driving and she gets frustrated and voices her opinion about the drivers. It bothers me. So I would say to her, it upsets me when you do that. And she'd say, hey, man, it's what I do. Makes me feel better. So now, 2 times over, I have to change my perception of when this happens. So not only am I not angry at the people who are driving bad, but I have to get not angry at the people who get angry at the people who get them angry. So I have to change that perception too. Now, so when Leanne barks at somebody, in my head, and I'm not good at this yet, in my head, I say, oh, she's telling me how much she loves me. I'm not making that up. Every time she yells at them, I have to change what I perceive that she is telling me how much she loves me. Neuro-linguistic programming. So I have to change how I respond. It's a choice I make. Now, it's not easy, and I have to make this work, but damn, I'm going to. So that my life is easier. All right, so this conversation with Ray continues on. And it was actually, a wonderful evening with Ray. And his issues reminded me of so many people that I know or that I've been introduced to, because we share our nutritional program with so many people. And it really is such an interesting lifestyle that you have to choose and make it work. Or I should say, in reality, it's not this lifestyle that you have to make work. It's making it work in your lifestyle. And it can be done. But one of the things that came up for me is, so along the way, I said, I wonder what the life expectancy for somebody born in my year and weighs what I weigh. And it was 68 years old. And I almost choked. I was like, that can't be. That's too soon. I'm not that far from that. I was so upset. Oh my God, I have to change that. So now, of course, as it turns out, like if you really do research, that 68 years old was off probably by quite a few years. But of course, it depended on your weight and your health and so many other factors. Point being, though, is that I thought if I only have 15 more years, 13 more years of life, and I started to picture 68-year-old me, well, which 68-year-old me do I want to be? Do I want to be the 68-year-old who looks like he's 48, who gets up and does things and moves along and acts like he's 48 or 38? Or do I want to be the 68-year-old who's like he's 88 and is struggling and is uncomfortable and sick? Which 68-year-old do I want to be? Because it's coming up. It's not that far away. So I was trying to tell Ray, who do you want to be in 10 years? Who do you want to be in 30 years? Trying to create leverage. Picture yourself at your daughter's college graduation or her wedding. Who do you want to be? Do you want to be sick? Do you want to be in a wheelchair? Do you want diabetes to take control of you? Or do you want to be the healthy Ray, who in 30 years is up and about doing things and is dancing the night away at his daughter's wedding? Which one? Which one? So I hope I didn't go too long. NLP, Neuro Linguistic Programming. And it was so foreign to me when I started to hear about it from Tony Robbins, who's a master, by the way, just a master. Can change your life. But if you implement neuro-linguistic programming and change the way you perceive everything that happens to you, you can change the way everything happens to you. It will be different. And listen, I just one more thing. I don't know why I just thought of it just a second, right? Because I'm rambling. It's what I do, right? As you're watching this, right, I want you now to look around the room that you're in, wherever you are. I want you to look around. And now really concentrate, focus on everything that is green. Focus on every single thing that is green. Notice it, pay attention to it. What are you looking at that is green? Now, assuming you're not, you've done that, right? You've all looked around. You've seen the things that are green. They're in your mind, right? Okay. Now close your eyes. As long as you're not driving, close your eyes. Right? Your eyes are closed. You don't see anything right now. And tell me everything that you saw in that room that was red. Nothing, right? Blank. You can't think of a thing. It's because what you focused on. I told you to focus on green things. You did. You saw everything that was green and paid very close attention, found the things that were green. But because I didn't ask you to, because you weren't programmed to, you didn't notice the things that were red. That was an experiment given to me, oh my God, probably 30 years ago. And what it taught me was that we are what we focus on. Change what you focus on. Change what you view. Change what you feel. Change what you see. You know what? Yeah, we're all trained to see green, but maybe we should be looking for the red too. Neuro-linguistic programming. Rambling with Ryan. I hope this has some effect on somebody somewhere. I hope, because if I'm just rambling. Peace out.